What's going on? Must be the flavor. And today we're going to load up career mode here on MLB The Show 06. It's not quite yet Road to the Show, but it is San Diego Studios' first attempt at a career type mode for their first attempt at a baseball game. So let's take a look at what Road to the Show looked like before it was actually called Road to the Show. Once I loaded up career mode, I saw that there was an option for an iToy, and I had no idea what it was. But I looked it up, and there's actually a PlayStation iToy that would have scanned your face and allows you to put it here in the career mode. Here, when you create your player, you have basic options that let you change your name, your age, your height, your weight, your jersey number, your position that you want to play, your throwing hand, and your batting hand. You can customize various things like your appearance, your equipment, and your batting stance. For my batting stance, I chose Gary Sheffield just because in these earlier games, there's not that many batting stance animations, so they're all pretty generic. So I like Gary Sheffield's batting stance in this one just because it's a little unique in this game. Then it was time to update my attributes for my player. There's a attribute cap and there's a cap on each skill that you're trying to improve. So you can only go up to about 50 attribute points for each skill there is so that you don't overpower your player in one area. But with any player that I create, I like to focus on the batting and focus on the hitting. Then you get to pick what team you want to be on. Here again, I chose my team, the Colorado Rockies, and I chose second base because I knew that was the Rockies' weakest position on the team, so I thought I'd be able to make major leagues much faster. And here you can change multiple options before you actually finally start your career. Then you're introduced to a list of spring training goals that your team wants you to meet. Now finally we can jump into the career mode. The layout is the same as it is in franchise mode except for this career home tab. In the career home tab you have locker room, contract, interactions, and training. In the locker room you'll receive various locker notes from your manager, teammates, and etc. Then you get to see your achievements and your career stats. In contract, you get to see the description of your contract and the goals that your team wants you to meet. Then in interactions, you actually have multiple options of complaining, don't see, position, 14, call up, team, manager, request, trade, and retire. Each option has a different function, and depending on the option that you choose, it greatly affects not only your manager's morale, but also your team's morale. Then finally, you have training. Training is where you can go ahead and spend all of your training hours that you accumulate while you're playing the game. This is where you go ahead and buff up your stats for your player. And that was it. Those are the only different features compared to modes like season mode, franchise mode, and any other modes. Those are the only ones that are different for career mode. Then I loaded up into my first game. And this is where I learned that this mode was not what I thought it was going to be. When I loaded up into my first game, it was like if I was playing just any regular game, right? Loaded up and it's shows the whole lineup, and then all of a sudden you're taking control of the first batter in your lineup, which isn't you. And I took control of my entire team. And then I was playing, I was like, this is weird, what am I doing? And then I found out that you had to go ahead and sim to your next appearance, right? So I went to sim to next appearance, but all it did was switch me over to defense where I was pitching. And then I was like, am I going to have to play the entire game with the entire team and do everything the same, but just my controlled player or my made player is just a regular, part of the team now, but I have to play as everyone? Then I finally realized that I have to sim to my next at bat every single time just to skip through all of that, get my player to bat. In order for you to play defense, you have to control the pitcher and just pitch the whole game, and then maybe get a ground ball hit to you. Maybe some plays happen on defense for my player, but yeah, I realized that I'm going to have to sim to my next at bat every single time I play a game, and that honestly was like, damn. So from there, I knew it was going to be a grind, but I went ahead and started to absolutely shred the league in spring training. absolutely being the best hitter on the team and being the best overall player on the team. Even after shredding the spring training, I did not make the major league team, but that usually happens in any career mode. So I knew I was going to have to work my way up to the major leagues, and I started right here in AAA. In AAA with the Sky Sox, I was absolutely killing the league and putting up crazy numbers. And then very fast, actually in the next month in May, I was called up to the big leagues. I ended up getting called up to the major leagues, but I was getting no playing time. I was getting these pinch hits in the 8th or 9th, and I just kept getting these one at-bat appearances. I was getting some hits here and there, but I was getting no playing time. And then in a very short order, I was sent back down to the minor leagues. I get sent back down to the minor leagues, and I actually don't get called back up to the major leagues the entire rest of the season. Even after I completed all contract goals besides 2. In my first season, I actually increased my overall for my player by 12 points. After the first season, my 1-year contract is up and I'm released by the Rockies. But I get 4 contract offers, but one of the best ones is from the Rockies for 3 years, $621,000. I re-signed with the Rockies, but then I see on the roster that we had made some changes. We actually picked up Hall of Fame pitcher Mariano Rivera and Gary Sheffield added to the team. Then I see we pick up another second baseman, Marcus Giles, who has a higher overall rating. So for this season, I actually had to start out in the minor leagues again because we now have a second baseman that has a higher overall rating than me. And I have to keep playing in the minors until I can bring my overall up and surpass him. So now at this point, I'm thinking, there's another season I have to go through with this. So I go ahead and play another season and finally get called back up again. So I get called back up to the major leagues again, and this time I'm actually putting up some good numbers. I'm actually starting to get a lot of good hits in and being productive for the team. Immediately, 23 at-bats, 15 hits, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, a .652 batting average. But my overall is still lower than Giles. I actually go to the manager and request to get moved up in the lineup, but he says I have to have more solid games. I'm already batting over 500. And then I go to complain about the manager where we don't see eye to eye. And then he says, keep your concerns to yourself. And so from this point, I'm like, I don't know what else I can do. I'm putting up crazy numbers, putting up crazy stats. I can't get more at-bats. I can't get higher up in the lineup because of the second baseman that's already there. His overall is keeping me from even being a starter on the team. So throughout the rest of the season, I'm just getting pinch hit at-bats here and there, no starts. We finally finished the season 105-57. And then when it comes time to playoffs, I'm not even on the team and I don't even get any at-bats. So I said, to hell with that. I am going to let the contract expire and going to go sign with another team. So the 1-year deal expires again and I get released. There's some immediate contract offers, right? But these aren't the only ones. So I decline all of them and then actually let you pick the team again. So I go through the entire list and then I finally land on the Cincinnati Reds to where I can actually get a starting position. And from the get-go, starting game 1 of this season, I just go crazy from there. I start playing great, the team is playing great, and everything seems to be going good. The team is 29-15, first in the division, and I decided to go to the coach and see if I can move up in the lineup. Because currently I'm batting either 4th or 5th in the lineup. I'm trying to be batting 3rd or 2nd in the lineup to get more at-bats. But when I do go to the coach and request to get moved up in the lineup, he says that you've been moved down in the lineup because you've been slumping badly. I'm hitting .437 with 73 hits, 6 home runs, 36 RBIs, 22 stolen bases in 43 games. So I go to the manager and complain, and he says, not wise dividing the hand that feeds you. So I say, fuck it, I'm requesting more playing time. And when I do, they release me from my contract. And when they release me from my contract, I can't get another contract to sign anywhere else. I can't play. I have to sim the entire season just to play and sign with another team. And at this point, I just said, I'm done. This was not enjoyable at all. It just feels like a hassle more than anything. So I just decided to call it right there and just retire from the league. And then right here, once you retire from the league, it gives you a little plaque that you can look at. Baseball fails to do more than give a hearty handshake goodbye to this early retiree. His career never really got off the ground. Yeah, that was bad. That was not good at all. This was such it felt like a grind, like a painful grind. This was not a game. This was not fun. Zero part of this was enjoyable. This career mode is bad. This is terrible. Part of it too is like knowing what it is nowadays and that they fixed so much of it, obviously 20 years almost later, of course. But going back and playing this now, this is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. I didn't even want to restart or do it again, give it a try again. I don't think you could pay me to play this career mode again. This is just the worst. The absolute worst. It doesn't matter how well your player is playing. The AI only cares about how good your overall is. That's the only way you're going to be able to start for your team. That's the only way you're going to be able to hit high in your lineup. Nothing's going to happen until you get your high overall for whatever position that you're playing. Plus, you can't play any defense unless you decide to pitch the whole game, which you might as well just go play franchise mode, because if you're just going to pitch the whole game, you're just playing the entire game. This ain't career mode. You just have a made-up goddamn player with your name on it. And the constant need to have to keep simming to your next user at bat over and over and over again is just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And I get it. This is like the first one that they ever did. And they came so fucking far because this shit is just dog water. And I don't like to be overly negative and just openly shit on things just because that's what's cool to do, is just be negative. It's a lot harder to be positive. It's a lot easier to be negative. But this is just like, I was enjoying the game overall the entire game. I was enjoying it. Then I played this career mode and it just was like, man, this shit's gotta go. I gotta move on to my next game. Like, what the fuck is this? The only people who like this game mode are the ones who grew up with it, and this is probably the only game that they owned at the time on the PS2 or whatever. Those are the only people who are actually going to look back and say, that game mode was actually pretty good. And it's not. It's not. Well, that's the end of that. So I only got 2 more videos left to go, and it's going to be now the overall view of the game, as well as my last video for the love of the game I usually do. But after me having a shitty attitude about this game mode, I want to say thank you so much. I just broke 100 subscribers, which is just insane to me that people out there even care or watch these stupid YouTube videos that I make. And that's just awesome. It makes me feel good that someone out there is watching, someone out there cares. So through all the negative shit that I was just going through right there, thank you so much. And I hope you guys keep coming back for more, and I hope to be putting out more videos. So look out for the next 2 that I'll be doing, and keep coming back. Thank you so much for your support. Peace.
What you doing, son?
Nothing. Just chilling. Killing.
True.